Hi, this is Kohsuke. I'm the creator of Jenkins and the chief scientist at CloudBees. So today, I wanted to kick off the event by talking a little bit about the expanding universe of Jenkins. The idea is so that you can see what people are going to talk about today in the context. So this Jenkins project, or rather what has since then became Jenkins, started at about 15 years ago. I believe it was in a Christmas break or maybe a summer break. I'm not exactly sure. It was my side hobby project while I was working as an engineer at Sun Microsystems doing some Java middleware. I was the only guy who's working on this project for a long time, and I've also early on was obviously the only user, and this was the only computer that ran that program. I was writing this program because I used to be a guy who breaks builds all the time, and at one point I thought I got one too many phone calls from my colleagues telling me of the breakage of the build. So I thought, well, I guess I should be writing a program so that can catch my mistake before my colleagues do. Well, it turned out that I wasn't the only guy who's breaking builds, so are everyone else in the team, or for that matter, everyone else in the same building. So the use of this software has grown over time, first inside the Sun Microsystems, but because it was open source, it kind of quickly spread outside the corporate world into the rest of the world. And I still think part of the reason it got distraction is because at around this time, Sun was going down the tube, and a lot of good engineers were leaving the company into some other parts of the valley. And I think they took this idea of Jenkins or the continuous integration or the constant feedback cycle with them to their new workplace. And I still think that was a key factor in the promoting earlier parts of the growth. But anyway, fast forward for 15 years, Jenkins has become truly one of the bedrock of the software development ecosystem, right? We have thousands of contributors producing software that's used by millions of people, and collectively, I believe we are driving close to 1 million computers, doing everything from building, testing, some kind of the ETL processing, the batch jobs, release, deployment, QA, security scan, all sorts of things. Some people have even told me that they hooked up their webcam and combined with OpenCV and a little bit of scripting, they were able to essentially build a nanny cam. So that's that's just the extreme case, but still makes the point home that what we build is very, very flexible. So in explaining this flexibility, sometimes I tell people that what the Jenkins enabled is almost like this vast expanse of the road network that spans the entire continent. Because you see, if you think about it, there's a lot of different kind of software development teams out there in different kind of businesses at the different points in the technology curve. Some might be developing a web application that's targeting consumers. Another people might be developing video games or the backend apps or the embedded applications that go into the medical hardware or cars, or some people will be building back office applications. Some people developing developing might be different ways of saying it, but the composing books by using the same practice that the software developers are using. So there's just so many variety and different kinds going on. So what's great about this road network is that everyone can drive their own car from wherever they are to their own destinations. And often this journey, when you set out to take on this journey, you don't know exactly where you're going, right? But because it's a road, well, you can be in the driver's seat, you can change the destination or take a shortcut or turn the left. And as you learn about this landscape, you can map out your journey well. And in every step of the way, the community, the plugins, and the knowledge that accumulated over the internet will help people get to that destination. But as the software development became more ubiquitous and Jenkins becomes more ubiquitous, at the community, we started thinking that, well, maybe we need to take on a bigger role in guiding users, Because if you see, again, if you think about it, there are often some very, very common destinations that the people are trying to go. In other words, big cities that everyone wants to go. One good example might be a mobile app development. Right? There's a lot of, it's a certain kind of software development. It's unique set tooling and like practices and so on. So if that's the destination you're trying to go, well, we got to be able to do something the better for those audience. The same is the web applications. The same is video games. So I started thinking of these things as building a high-speed rail network. Right? There are some big cities, common popular destinations people are trying to go. And if that's the destination, then we want people to just show up in the train stations and then get on to this train. And the train will take them comfortably and rapidly and quite affordably, right? And people don't have to be in the driver's seat. They can trust that the people who laid out the track knew what they're doing, and then they can focus on what matters, which is building the application, not figuring out the CD or software development process. So looking at it from a different angle, what that means is we gotta be able to integrate different pieces that the different parts of the community have developed, and then put together a more cohesive user experience that help people trying to get to these certain destinations. And by integrating these pieces, the value that can provide is the simplicity, right? Again, like you don't have to do this assembly. You don't have to worry about you're doing things in ways that are different from other people who are trying to do similar things, and so on and so forth. It just it makes the whole thing a lot simpler and easier to use, which is kind of, I feel like, is the raising bar in this industry at the moment. So that's the context in which the Jenkins X effort, I think, comes in, right? It's targeting a very particular mode of development, that is the cloud-native web application development. And that is, as you can see, in the rise of the Kubernetes and its new cloud, like in the cloud, or that whole ecosystem is exploding right now. And then everyone is trying to improve their own software development process to take advantages of these new capabilities that's supposed to help the developers more productive. But this can't be. This isn't as easy, right? Because it's one thing for like one passionate engineer to to learn these technologies and try to have fun with it and then run with it. But it's entirely on something else that the whole team to take that on while meeting all the demands from the business side. So anyhow, what this Jenkins X has brought into the Jenkins community is, well, put more simply, it brought a lot of changes. It brought a lot of innovations, and if you've been paying attention to some of what's going on for the past few months, hopefully you have seen that there's a lot of interesting happenings in large part thanks to the existence of Jenkins X. It also brought a whole new different set of people, both the contributors and the users. And every time these different people arrive, they bring in the new perspectives and new ideas. And I fundamentally believe in this more eyeballs, more the different viewpoints working together to make something better. So in that sense, it was definitely a positive factor. And finally, it also brought a whole new kinds of collaborations with the different kinds of companies, with the different kind of projects. And that also together brought interesting changes. So speaking a little bit about this, this point of collaborations, I wanted to mention this new foundation that we launched with the Linux Foundation. It's called the Continuous Delivery Foundation. So this is the project in which Jenkins X, Spinnaker, and Tecton are coming together. We are working on some collaborations that brought, for example, some of the features into the Jenkins X project already. So anyway, what I'm trying to say with all these things is that the Jenkins project is in a little bit of renaissance. There's a lot of new ideas, new people, new processes, pushing the new boundaries of Jenkins in interesting ways. And I'm not exactly sure where this is going, and I don't think anybody is, but that's kind of the point of open source project. And clearly the change is in the air, and the excitement is in the air. So today, you'll hear from people who are at the forefront of this renaissance. They are pushing different envelopes in different corners of the envelope into different directions. And you learn, hopefully, from them a lot of interesting things. And then you'll be able to kind of hit that ball back to them. And then in that process of feedback cycle and collaboration, I know good things are born in the past, and I know more good things will be born in the future. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. And thank you, and enjoy the rest of the day.